You cannot guard Anthony Edwards with a hand on Anthony Edwards' back. All he's going to do is move his pivot foot here. And look at this. You're already moving backwards. You're off balance now. This is unbelievable. This is the same thing. Again, get your hand off Anthony Edwards' back. Look, if he rips through here, you're not going to be able to guard him. Look at this rip through. Rips through right there. You instantly have to drop your hip. And you're giving him the angle. This is a huge problem here. What is this Rockets player doing? Why you can't stand in no man's land? Get out and find a Timberwolves player to guard. Look at this. You're standing in no man's land. So now Kenyon Martin Jr. has to worry about 2 different Timberwolves players. If you want to play the gaps, you got to drop immediately. So this Rockets player should already be dropping right now. You rotate to the ball, okay? So now you're in a defensive stance with your feet set. This is not good enough. Like, see this player? Look at how his feet are moving inward. Your feet aren't set. You're not getting outward. This is a terrible switch. If you are switching here, you need to be up right now, level to the screener, ready to guard. This player's underneath, switching onto the screener. Look at this. Are you ready to guard right here? No. So this is a steal right here. Stop. So if you're this Rockets player, you need to sprint back now. Now. You can't wait to see, like, what you got to go now. Like, look at this Rockets player. No. What is Josh Christopher doing here? You are guarding this Timberwolves player here. He just made a pass. So you need to sprint and still guard this Timberwolves player. Why are you going to guard the ball? What did I just witness? It's terrible defense by this Rockets player, okay? If you want to drop beneath the three-point line, fine, but with more urgency and get your feet set. See, look what's happening right here. This player's dropping beneath the three-point line. His feet aren't set. So he continues to drop. Well, whoops, D'Angelo Russell is coming off a down screen that you now have 0 chance of guarding. Again, if you want to play the gaps right now, you need to move here now with your feet set in a defensive stance. Look at this Rockets player, not in a defensive stance. Watch his feet. His feet are moving inward right there. You're not getting outward. If you're Alperen Sengun, you cannot just backpedal forever, okay? I understand you might not be able to guard Anthony Edwards. You got to stay up, okay? Because look what happened. Well, if you had stayed up here, okay? Now I can, then this player needs to get into the gaps then with his feet set in a defensive stance. But I can get up now and force Anthony Edwards here where I should be able to stunt without moving my feet. So I'm going to get that dribble picked up, okay? And then I'll be able to recover. But you just backpedal forever and click, click, poster time. Horrible gamble, just horrible. Gamble, don't get it, forces a late switch, not going to work. Why can't Eric Gordon just get to his man? Why must Eric Gordon gamble like this? Rockets are doing everything wrong here. They're in drop coverage, but Sengun can't just backpedal forever. Now, Eric Gordon needs to be over here. You got to slide over. You have to be in backside help. You have to. Okay? Get your feet set. Because if D'Angelo Russell comes this way and wants to throw a skip pass, boom, you can immediately recover. Okay? Because you're in a defensive stance with your feet set. But Eric Gordon doesn't come in backside help. Sengun is dropping just forever. It's of course, I mean, obviously. What is this Rockets player doing? You are guarding Anthony Edwards. Sengun is here. I don't know what this player's doing. He should be wider. But you're guarding Anthony Edwards. Where are you going? And if you want, God, it's unbelievable. If you want to be in the gaps, you got to be here now with your feet set in a defensive stance. Look at this Rockets player. Your feet are moving inward. You ain't getting outward. Get your hands off of Anthony Edwards. You're hugging Anthony Edwards. You know what he's going to do with that? He's going to use this to, look at that space he just created off of that. Boom, now you can't guard him. It's rip and go. Okay, so you switch this first screen right here. Now, I don't know what this Rockets player is doing right here, all right? If you get screened, you get screened, all right? But this Rockets player defending Anthony Edwards is falling into his own screen. Well, why? Okay, here's a Rockets turnover right here. Okay, stop. So this player needs to sprint back. So if you want to be able to guard the ball, you got to sprint back. You got to get in a defensive stance. What you cannot do is be complaining about the turnover. Look at this Rock. So instead of getting back, look what this Rockets player does. See how he stops and complains about the turnover? Well, now you're not going to be able to guard the ball. Again, reaction time. All right, turnover. Okay, it's fine. A turnover happens. You need to get back. This player needs to get back. Look at both of these Rockets players. Cannot start and drop coverage and then just switch out of nowhere. So the Rockets are starting in drop coverage. This guard is starting to fight over the screen. And now he's going to say, never mind, I'm going to go switch. Well, this player isn't ready to switch. How many times do we have to see this? Why is your hand on Anthony Edwards? Get in a defensive stance with your feet set and show your hands and get them wide. Look at this. Anthony Edwards is going to make the slightest move here. He makes the slightest move there, and you just backpedaled. So now you're off balance, and good night. Look at this. What is this Rockets big doing? So he's been getting back down the middle of the floor. You can barely see him. He's been getting back down the middle of the floor the whole time. Why were you not getting back this way to guard the ball? Look at this. What? You're standing in no man's land. You have no chance of guarding the ball now. None. You're going uphill. D'Angelo Russell's going downhill right by you. Okay, we have a turnover right here. Stop. Look at this Rockets player right over here. You can see him complaining as opposed to getting back. Why is this Rockets player not already starting to sprint back? Like all of these things are just such a disaster. If you are guarding the ball, your only focus can be the ball. If a screen comes, your teammate will let you know. But look at this play. Look at this player turn his head. And then look. Now you're going to lean towards the screen. What a joke.